right? When you hear social media, you say, okay, great. I like the idea of social media, right? I like the thought of it, but there's too much. There's just so much out there, right? We have everything from, this is danger global warming on it, by the way. He's freaking out, which is awesome. Top left corner is Reddit. It's a social bookmarking site. Top right is a WordPress logo for blogs. Obviously, we got Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, YouTube, just to name a few. Didn't want to be too excessive, so I held it down to here. So how do you sort it out? And this is the biggest problem, especially people who aren't uber geeks like myself, where there's an adoption, right? And I know there's some geeks in here, my crew, right? My awesome LOL. My crew's in here who understands it. There's a point to say, you've got to focus. If you guys here want to succeed in social media, and by the way, the word succeed is your own definition. Succeed means whatever you're trying to get out of it, and defining success is important. If you want to succeed in your business, whether that's a business that runs with other people, or you're the sole proprietor of that business, you're the solopreneur, which means you do everything, all the time, 24 hours a day, either way, it doesn't matter. If you want to succeed, especially for the person who has to do it themselves, and especially if you're bootstrapped and you got to run it in an efficient way as possible, you got to do what I call platform, okay? Which crazy dude over here is doing, by the way, with his soapbox. You've got to platform it. And what I mean by platforming is my background a decade ago or so. You know, you get old when you can refer to your work experience in decades. My decade, I used to manage music groups. I used to manage bands in Toronto, right down here. Right? We did the Elmo Combo, and Lee's Palace, and the Horseshoe. And I realized that all the bands wanted what? Well, don't say some stuff, but all the bands, really wanted they wanted to play at the time Skydome. They wanted to play Air Canada Centre, right? They wanted 40,000. But what bands didn't understand, and one club promoter told me very, very succinctly, he said, before you can play to 40,000, you got to play to 40. Right? Before you try to fill an arena, you got to fill a room. If you can't get 10 people to come to your show, you're not bringing 10,000. And it's a very, very smart thing to think about. It was very smart because I didn't say it. That you have to build a following. And if you try to do everything at once, you just disperse yourself. You spread yourself too thin. Who here has accounts on more than one of these sites? Hands up. Holy monkey nuts. Look at the people. Almost the entire room has accounts on every one. The problem is, unless you make it your full-time job, you can't manage these effectively, correct? Yes. Right? You try every day. You kind of jump in sometimes, you log in, but you really can't build a presence. You can't get known in a circle if you're trying to hit 7 circles at once. It's literally like trying to hit 6 networking events in one night at the same time. It doesn't work that way. Unless you've got some weird cloning thing going on, it's not going to happen. It's very hard to manage it, since if you're running the show, the 2 things you lack is what? Time and money, yes? And sex life, depending on how busy you are, right? So time and money. The problem here is it doesn't cost money, but it costs us time. And that's the hardest part. So build your platform small first. You pick one of these to focus on. I'd rather you focus on one than be spread on 6. And then you get known in the platform. So the question here is, which platform do you pick? Which one do you go to? So quickly, I'm going to give you kind of my own thoughts on why which platform may or may not work for you.